Hi, my name is Wendy and I'm an urban gardener. Today I want to show you how to use the Hozon attachment with your Bactifeed product. Now these are the contents of the package, the brass attachment to your spigot and the siphoning hose for the Bactifeed product. Okay, to get started we need a few things. We need our brewed Bactifeed product in a 5-gallon bucket. We've already put a cap full of Bactifeed in this and it's sat for 24 hours. Now it's not mandatory, but I have chosen to put a simple aquarium bubbler in my Bactifeed bucket, which increases the bacterial productivity by putting more oxygen in the brew. So now we have our solution ready, and we're going to need our Hozon, which is the brass attachment to the spigot, and the siphoning hose, which will go into the 5-gallon bucket. And finally, we'll need a 50-foot hose or less and some kind of sprinkling device. I use a wand for my application because it works best for me. So Hozon recommends a 50-foot hose or less in order to create enough pressure to pull the Bactifeed into the hose. First, we attach the brass attachment to the spigot, nice and tight. Next, we attach the hose part of the Hozon to the brass attachment. We're going to drop this into the Bactifeed bucket. Next, we're going to attach the hose to the Hozon. Now I'm ready to water my garden. But first, I'm going to turn the hose on full blast and then top off my Bactifeed bucket. It's important to turn it on full blast in order to get enough pressure to pull the Bactifeed into the hose. All the way on. Okay, so I'm watering my beets that are about half harvested. My radishes are all harvested, but I'm going to go ahead and keep watering that anyway so that the next time I plant that's going to be nice and healthy. I'm watering my carrots, also about half harvested. And it's important to check in with my 5-gallon bucket to make sure that my Bactifeed is actually decreasing. It looks like my Hozon is working properly. So now I'm watering my chives and my basil and my tomatoes, and it's really important in this hot weather, this temperature, to make sure that these plants get a lot of water. I've been watering for about 20 minutes now, and I've used about 3 gallons of my Bactifeed solution. So now I'm going to rinse out my applicator by putting it in a nearby bucket of fresh water, and then I'm going to refill my Bactifeed bucket up to the top. So since my Bactifeed solution still has a good color, I'm not going to add any more Bactifeed to it tonight. I'm going to fill it to the top and it'll be ready to go again tomorrow.